This happened when I was 16. It was a Friday night, and I was home alone for the first time in a while. My parents had gone out of town for the weekend to visit my older sister at college. I didn't want to go. I had a school project due Monday, and honestly, I just wanted a quiet weekend to myself. The first night was fine. I stayed up late, ordered food, watched a few movies, typical stuff. But the second night, that's when things got weird. It started with my dog, a black lab named Toby. He's usually pretty chill, but around 11 p.m. that night, he started acting strange, pacing, whining, staring at the back door like something was out there. I figured it was just a raccoon or something, but when I went to check, there was nothing, just the dark yard and the faint outline of the woods beyond the fence. I shrugged it off and went back to the couch. About 20 minutes later, Toby started growling, this time low and constant, not playful. It was coming from his throat. I got up and walked toward the sliding glass door that led to the backyard. I turned on the porch light, and that's when I saw her, a girl, standing at the edge of my yard, barefoot, maybe 12 or 13 years old. She had long, tangled hair that covered part of her face, and she was wearing a dirty, oversized hoodie that hung almost to her knees. She was just standing there, still, silent. I opened the door a crack and called out to her, asking if she was okay. No answer. She didn't move. I said it again, louder this time. Still nothing. Then she turned around and ran, but not back toward the street. She ran into the woods. I didn't know what to do. I didn't recognize her, and I didn't want to chase someone's kid into the trees at midnight. So I called the non-emergency police line and let them know what I saw. They said they'd send someone to patrol the area, but not to worry. It was probably just a runaway from the next neighborhood over. Still, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. I double-checked all the locks, closed every curtain in the house, and even blocked the back door with a chair. About an hour later, I was dozing off on the couch when I heard something. Tap, tap, tap. Not from the back this time, from the front window. I froze. The tapping came again, more urgent. I crawled toward the window, heart racing, and peeked through the side of the curtain. No one there. I waited, maybe 5 minutes, not moving an inch. Then, something made me look toward the kitchen. I don't know why. Just instinct, I guess. And I swear to God, the sliding door, the one I had blocked, was open about 6 inches. That chair I wedged against it, knocked over on the floor. Toby was standing in the hallway now, ears up, growling louder than before. I grabbed my phone and ran upstairs, locked myself in my room, and called 911 this time. They said someone would be there in minutes and told me to stay quiet and stay on the line. I sat there listening, the sound of footsteps downstairs, deliberate, slow. Someone was in the house. They weren't calling out, weren't trying to steal anything. They were walking, like they were looking for someone. Eventually, I heard the front door open, then slam shut. Then, silence. The cops arrived about 5 minutes later. They found nothing inside the house, but muddy footprints led from the backyard into the kitchen and back out the front door. The weirdest part? A set of smaller footprints followed them, like a child's. But the cops didn't find any signs of a girl, just the prints. And when they followed them into the woods, the trail just stopped, like they disappeared. To this day, I don't know who that girl was, or who she brought with her. But sometimes when I walk past that sliding glass door, I swear I still see her, just standing there, at the edge of the yard. It was a warm, fading evening in late spring. I was about 11, maybe 12, right in that age where you still feel like a kid, but the world is just starting to get complicated. I had just gotten off the school bus and started my usual walk home. The sun had dipped low behind the trees, turning the sky a soft orange and purple, and the air smelled like cut grass and distant barbecue. That slow, sleepy kind of southern evening where everything feels peaceful. Maybe a little too peaceful. Our neighborhood was quiet, the kind where people wave when they drive by, and nobody locks their doors until they go to bed. We lived in a small, one-story brick house, built in the 1950s, 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, tiny kitchen, cramped living room, maybe 1,000 square feet total. It wasn't fancy, but it was home, and it felt safe. I came in through the back door like I always did, dropped my backpack by the kitchen, and made a beeline for the bathroom. I'd been holding it since I got off the bus. The house was still, no TV, no music, not even the creak of floorboards, just the low hum of the fridge and the soft click of the bathroom lock behind me. The last light of the sun filtered through the frosted window, casting golden shadows across the tile. I sat there, breathing out slowly, letting the silence settle around me. And then I heard it. A voice. It said my name, not my full name, my nickname, the one only my mom used. Sweet, soft, the way she'd call me to dinner or ask for help folding laundry. It came from just outside the bathroom door. I froze. At first I thought maybe, somehow Mom had gotten home early, but that didn't make sense. She worked nearly an hour away. She never got home before dark. Still, I called out, "Mom?" No answer, just silence. And then the voice came again. "Nick, come here." Same tone, same pitch, same familiarity. But this time, I noticed something was wrong. It sounded like her, but not right, like a recording, like someone who'd heard her speak and was doing their best to mimic her, but missed something human. My skin went cold. I pressed my ear to the door. Nothing. Then, knock, knock, knock. 3 soft taps. I staggered back. The handle jiggled. Once. Just a gentle rattle, like someone trying to see if it was locked. I didn't breathe. I didn't speak. I just stood there, frozen in place, staring at that door. A minute passed, then another. No more knocks, no footsteps, no voice. I finally unlocked the door, opened it just a crack. The hallway was empty. Fading light poured through the living room windows, stretching shadows down the hall. Everything looked the same, but it didn't feel the same. I stepped out, checked every room, the closets, even the laundry basket. Nothing. No signs anyone had ever been there. But I knew better, because that voice didn't just sound like my mom. It knew how to sound like her. It knew my name, my nickname, the way she said it, and whatever it was, it wanted me to answer. But I didn't. I walked outside and sat on the porch, under the dim porch light, and waited until I saw my mom's car pull into the driveway. She asked why I looked pale. I told her I didn't feel well. I never mentioned the voice, because I don't think she would have believed me. And honestly, I didn't want to hear it again, not even in my memories. I was 15 when this happened. My parents had gone to a late wedding reception 2 towns over, and I convinced them I was old enough to stay home alone for the night. The evening started out fine. I ordered pizza, watched some dumb horror movie on Netflix, and stayed glued to my phone like any other weekend. I wasn't scared at first, not until the power went out. It was around 10:30 p.m. I was mid-scroll on Instagram when the lights flickered, then everything went dark. No storm, no wind, just gone. The power outage didn't bother me at first. I grabbed a flashlight from the kitchen drawer and figured it was just a neighborhood thing. But when I looked out the window to check if the street lights were out, something felt off because all the other houses still had their lights on. Every single one, except mine. That's when the unease started to crawl in. I checked the circuit breakers in the garage. Nothing had tripped. Everything looked normal, but still, no power. Then I heard a knock, not at the front door, not the back. It came from the side window, the one facing the alley. 3 slow knocks. Knock, knock, knock. I froze. My breath caught in my throat. I live in a safe suburb, but this wasn't just some kid playing a prank. This was something else. I stepped back and turned off the flashlight so whoever, or whatever, was outside couldn't see me. A minute passed. Then I heard the knock again, but it was coming from a different window. This one was at the back of the house in the laundry room. Whoever it was, they were moving around my house, checking windows, looking for a way in. I tried to stay calm. I grabbed my phone and called my mom. No service. Not bad service. 0 service. Like the phone couldn't even detect a network. My screen just said no signal. I remember whispering to myself, "This can't be real." Then I heard the back door rattle. Someone was trying the handle, slowly, not like a burglar, more like someone who already knew the layout of the house. I crept into the hallway and grabbed the bat from under the couch. It was aluminum, cold. I gripped it so hard my hands were shaking. Then, silence again. No more knocks, no more rattling. Just this heavy, suffocating silence. I waited. Maybe 5 minutes. Maybe 10. I don't remember. Then I made the mistake of looking out the peephole. There was a man standing on my front lawn, not at the door, just standing out in the yard directly under the porch light, like he wanted me to see him. He was wearing dark jeans and a gray hoodie, but I'll never forget what was off. His face was covered with something, not a ski mask, not a balaclava. It looked like a grocery bag with eye holes cut out. He just stood there, unmoving. Then he raised his hand and waved. That was it. That was the moment I completely panicked. I locked myself in the bathroom, sat in the tub with the bat across my lap, and waited. I must have dozed off because the next thing I remember, it was light out. Morning, the power was back. My phone buzzed to life with missed texts and calls. I ran to the front door and peeked out. Nothing. Except in the grass, right where the man had stood, was the grocery bag, soaked from dew, 2 eye holes cut perfectly, and 1 sentence, scrawled in red marker across the front. You looked. I never told my parents. I never stayed home alone again. And now, whenever the power flickers, I don't look out the window, because whatever that was, it knew I'd be watching.